What if I told you that the words of Jesus, often whispered in churches and quoted in sermons, hold the key to unlocking not just spiritual peace, but limitless abundance? Not the hollow promises of wealth that echo through modern prosperity doctrines, but a deeper, sacred abundance, hidden in plain sight. He said, "I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly." But what did he really mean? Was Jesus speaking of eternal salvation? Or something far more mystical, a divine blueprint for living fully, here and now? The phrase comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10. In most translations, Jesus says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly." At first glance, it's a comforting statement. But if we look closer, through the lens of esoteric Christianity, mystical Judaism, and sacred metaphysics, it reveals a message far more radical. To truly understand this, we must step outside the confines of religious literalism and enter the inner temple of spiritual symbolism. Because when Jesus spoke, he often did not speak plainly. As he said in Matthew 13:35, "I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the foundation of the world." To understand abundance, as Jesus intended it, we must explore it as his disciples did, not merely as listeners, but as initiates. So let us descend into the ancient corridors of wisdom to uncover what this abundant life really is. Is it physical, spiritual, emotional, energetic? And why does he contrast it with the thief? The force that comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The deeper we look, the more this passage reveals itself as an ancient map. One leading not only to survival, but to sovereignty of the soul. The meaning of abundance, beyond material wealth. In today's world, the word abundance has been hijacked. We're told abundance is a bigger paycheck, a better house, more followers, more fame. It's sold as something out there, something to chase, something to acquire. But Jesus was not a salesman of the world's goods. He was a revealer of kingdom truths, and the kingdom, as he often said, is within you. Luke 17:21. "Neither shall they say, 'Lo here,' or 'Lo there,' for behold, the kingdom of God is within you." So then, if the kingdom is within, then so is abundance. The Greek word used in the original text for more abundantly is perisson, meaning exceedingly, beyond measure, more than necessary, superabundant. But notice this, Jesus never specifies what kind of abundance. That's not an omission, it's a mystery, a clue. The abundance he speaks of transcends the material plane. It is not limited to gold, grain, or garments. It is the abundance of being. It's like the sun, radiating endlessly, not because it is trying, but because of what it is. To have life more abundantly is to live from that inner radiance, a state where love overflows, wisdom multiplies, and joy becomes your native tongue. This is not the life of accumulation. It is the life of overflow. It is the mystic's path, not one of poverty or excess, but of alignment. When your inner temple is in harmony, life responds in kind. Resources, relationships, revelations, they appear not as rewards, but as reflections. Author and mystic Howard Thurman once wrote, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." To live abundantly is to come alive, fully, fearlessly, and fruitfully. But this inner abundance has an enemy, a thief. And to understand it, we must confront the darker side of the parable. Very well. Now we enter the shadow, the counterforce in this sacred equation. To understand abundance, we must understand what threatens it. The thief. What comes to steal, kill, and destroy? The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. John 10:10. This is no ordinary warning. In ancient spiritual texts, including those from the Christian mystics and Gnostic teachers, destructive forces are rarely what they seem. The thief Jesus speaks of isn't just an external enemy. It's an archetype, a spiritual metaphor, a mask worn by many faces. Let us peel them back. The thief is forgetfulness, that fog which steals your divine memory. It is fear, which kills your courage to step into your purpose. It is self-doubt, which destroys your creative fire before it can even kindle. It is anything, external or internal, that convinces you that you are less than what God created you to be. In the mystic teachings of the Desert Fathers and later esoteric Christian writers like Jacob Boehme, the battle for the soul was never merely about sin, but about disconnection from the divine source. That disconnection is the real theft, and in that disconnection, the thief thrives. It creeps in through thoughts of scarcity, through inherited shame, through unconscious patterns that whisper, "You are not enough. There is not enough. Life is not enough." But hear this, the thief has no power of its own. It only borrows the power you forget you possess. It is like a shadow. It vanishes the moment you bring it into the light. And that light is awareness, consciousness, the remembrance of who you are. The mystics of every tradition, Sufi, Kabbalist, Christian, Hermetic, agree on this. You are not here to beg for scraps of spiritual grace. You are here to embody divine inheritance. Abundance is your birthright. But like any inheritance, you must awaken to it, or it remains locked in the vault of your forgotten self. So, how do we awaken? How do we live in the abundant life Jesus speaks of? Let us now turn from mystery to method. With reverence, we now cross the threshold from revelation to realization, from knowing about abundance to embodying it. Living abundantly, the inner technologies of Christ consciousness. Jesus did not merely teach ideas, he demonstrated frequencies. His life was a transmission, a living example of divine abundance flowing through human form. And he made it clear, "The works I do, you shall do also, and greater works than these shall you do." John 14:12. But how? How do we tap into this Christ level of awareness, this inner technology of abundance? Let us explore 3 mystical practices that align us with the abundant current of life. 1. Union over separation, the principle of oneness. At the core of Christ's teachings is this truth: I and the Father are one. Abundance flows when we dissolve the illusion of separation from God, from others, from our own soul. This is not merely a belief, it is an experience. The mystics called it unio mystica, the mystical union. Practice. Sit in silence. Breathe slowly. Inhale the words, "I am in the Father." Exhale the words, "And the Father is in me." Repeat until it is not a mantra, but a memory. 2. Gratitude as activation. Gratitude is not a polite gesture. It is a spiritual key. When Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, what did he do first? He gave thanks. Gratitude turns what you have into more than enough and signals to the universe that you are ready to receive. Practice. Each morning, before checking your phone or speaking a word, write down 3 things you're grateful for. But don't just list them. Feel them. Embody them. Gratitude is how the soul sings to the source. 3. The inner voice, listening for divine guidance. Abundance is not random, it is responsive. Jesus often retreated to quiet places, not to escape, but to tune in. "My sheep hear my voice," he said. This is not metaphor, it is method. The voice of the divine is subtle, like a whisper behind the noise, but it speaks through dreams, synchronicities, intuition. Practice. Set aside 10 minutes each evening. Ask a question, any question. Then still the mind. Listen. Write down what arises. Trust the subtle flow. You are not speaking to God. You are speaking with the divine intelligence within you. The true meaning of abundant life, a return to the garden. In the beginning, humanity walked with God, not above, not below, but with. There was no lack, no separation, no fear, only presence, only overflow. This is the state Jesus came to restore, not merely a paradise in the sky, but a condition of being. I came that they may have life, not mere survival, not mechanical existence, and have it more abundantly. This isn't about escaping to heaven. It's about returning to the garden within. The abundant life is Eden rediscovered, not through death, but through awakening. The garden is a frequency. When your mind is clear, your heart is open, and your spirit is aligned, you're there. The river of life flows, the fruits of your gifts ripen, and the thorns of fear fall away. As mystic and author Cynthia Bourgeault puts it, Jesus did not come to start a new religion. He came to offer a new way of being human. And that new way is ancient. It is encoded into your breath, into your bones, into your consciousness. Jesus was not simply inviting us to worship him. He was calling us to become like him, to walk in the abundance of love, to speak the language of the soul, to live not in scarcity, but in sacredness. The abundant life is not something you chase, it's something you remember. It's not stored in a vault, it's seeded in your spirit. And when you return to the garden within, through presence, through gratitude, through deep inner knowing, you realize that you have never left. The gates were never locked. You simply had to awaken. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Not someday, not after death, now, here, within. If this teaching resonates with you, share it with someone who is ready to awaken. And in the comments, tell us, what does abundance mean to you now? Until next time, walk wisely, love deeply, and remember, you are not here to survive. You are here to overflow. If this message stirred something deep within you, a memory, a longing, a recognition, this channel is a sanctuary for seekers, for those who hunger for truth, who recognize the world behind the world. Every video is a key, every teaching a door, leading you deeper into the mystery of who you truly are. If your soul said yes today, subscribe, like this video to let others find it, and leave a comment below with the words, "I remember the garden." Let that be your declaration. Let that be your signal to the universe that you are ready to live abundantly, not someday, but now. And as always, may you walk in light, rooted in truth, overflowing in grace. Until next time, peace, power, and the path of the mystic be upon you.